On December 17, 1987, Capcom took their dive into the world of video gaming platformers with their critically acclaimed title, Rockman, commonly known as MegaMan in the US. This series evolved into many different adaptations, including a hit RPG series for the Game Boy Advance called MegaMan Battle Network. Split into 6 games, the series stars MegaMan and his operator named Lan fighting villains to save the world. Typically, these games take a long time to complete, with some elements of gameplay being out of the player's control for progression. We all know about the problematic Windstar chip quest in Battle Network 3. What if I were to tell you that we could make most of these elements disappear, giving control of these things to the player? Today on Speedrunning Explained, we're going to dive into the history of RNG manipulation in the MegaMan Battle Network series. In the mid to late 2000s, most RPG speedruns had no way to directly influence heavy RNG sections of the run, relying on pure luck to get the drops or encounters needed to beat the game, thus leading to massively varying results in those sections and even the runs overall. This started changing when more and more tasks started popping up around 2010, where runners dove deep into the game's memory and started finding values correlating with certain events. On July 3rd, 2010, a tasker by the name of Bag of Magic Food submitted a tool-assisted speedrun of Battle Network 1 to task videos that would follow that trend. This used a variety of strategies that were not viable in real time, including RNG manipulation and a trick to even skip most encounters. Most of these tricks were new to the SDA community, except for the encounter skipping because Bag of Magic Food got excited and posted about it in the MegaMan Battle Network thread on SDA's forums in September 2009. To understand some of these tricks, we need to talk about how movement works in Battle Network. MegaMan and Lan both have 2 different walk speeds, dependent on whether the B button is pressed or not. These movement speeds determine how many pixels per frame, or PPF, the character moves in the overworld. Since MegaMan Battle Network runs at 60 frames a second, you can do the conversions from there. When the B button is pressed, the main character will move 2 ppf horizontally and vertically by themselves. Moving diagonally will move him 2 ppf horizontally, but only 1 ppf vertically. This works the same way when moving against a sloped wall. So how does this tie in with any of the tricks in the task? Well, the game starts a battle if you are running on certain randomly selected frames. One of the ways to avoid battles is to stop running briefly, right before the battle would have happened. This initially was accomplished by letting go of the B button, which unfortunately is rather slow since not moving in a speedrun is counterintuitive. However, it was found out that when you change direction, you stop for a single frame before changing that direction. This could be used in tandem with running along a sloped wall to cut down time loss since you're using 2 movement directions at once. The other main trick used was something now called folder stacking. During the making of the task, another runner was assisting with finding more ways to influence the game. Kurt Q. Kurt Q had a massive knowledge of the game's memory attributes, and made scripts pointing to the values that showed the positions of battleships when entering a battle. In the Battle Network and Star Force series, you can only have 30 chips or cards in your folder. For Battle Network 1, the values that show the positions of battleships are listed from 0 to 29 in the game's memory. If the number 17 popped up in the first position, that would mean the 18th chip in your folder would show in the first slot at the start of the battle. This was the same idea for the rest of the slots as well. There also appear to be 2 possible orders the game keeps track of for these values. One that it selects if the battle starts on an even frame, and one for if it starts on an odd frame. Not only that, but every frame, it also swaps a random pair of the slots in both orders. Bag of Magic Food was able to use this information, particularly for boss fights, by opening the folder screen and saving a state, then moving the positions of battle chips to influence how they were pulled in the upcoming battle. From there, he could get the best possible chip order by reloading and trying different battle chip movements. Using these strategies, The Battle Network 1 task was completed with a time of 55 minutes and 40 seconds, staggering improvement over anything that had been presented at the time. In February 2012, MTVF1 also submitted and had a task for Battle Network 2 published with a time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 35 seconds, using the similar manipulation strategies. On the Japanese side of things, however, they actually were ahead of the game by almost half a year. In January of 2010, Japanese tasker named Haniwa posted a task for MegaMan Battle Network 3's Japanese version with the time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 54 seconds, making it the longest Battle Network task out of any of the games. Tasks for MegaMan Battle Network 4 Red Sun and MegaMan Battle Network 6 Gregor were also made, but we will take a look at those games later on. On the real-time side of things, runners would fill their folders with as many good chips as possible for beating bosses and completing sections as fast as they can. Folder building in the Battle Network series is typically based on how reliable chips are, along with their specific codes. For example, Airshot and Rock Cube are excellent due to their chip codes and the ability to do massive damage with the Rock Shot combo. This also includes combinations for many of the program advances in later parts of the game. This was pretty much the norm for a while, with runners losing many runs to early game RNG in the series and making runs that get past it that much harder to bear when they are lost.
So hopefully he'll do Airman. I don't know if he does a breath attack. What? Wow, that really hurt. Oh my gosh. No.
When I say this was the norm for a while, I mean for almost half a decade since Bag of Magic Food posted finding out about encounter skips in Battle Network 1. This lasted until the summer of 2014, when the series had many speedrunners working to push down the time. Notably, one who was grinding resets in Battle Network 1. Prismatic Black. Prismatic Black, at the time, had been running the game for a little over a year, with him getting top times rather quickly, while he was resetting constantly due to the issues of not getting the right chips, items, or encounters. One viewer was thinking outside of the box and had an idea that would shake the very foundations of MegaMan Battle Network speedrunning. At the beginning of Battle Network 1 speedruns, you need to collect Zenny, the game's currency, to purchase the power-up item. You can get Zenny via virus battles, or the much faster way, GMD. Green Mystery Data, or GMD for short, are items that appear in the internet's overworld. It can contain battle chips, Zenny, or even a virus battle for those unlucky enough. Prismatic would go to the GMD and grab it in his route. If it contained the right reward, he would continue onward. If not, then he would reset for a chance at something else. Sometimes, this would take several resets to accomplish and would lose a lot of time in the run. This is where that outside of the box thinking comes in, and it comes from another veteran speedrunner, EL Plexa. While Plexa didn't run MegaMan Battle Network 1, he did understand the concepts of RNG manipulation for some Game Boy Advance games, and didn't want to see Prismatic Black suffer at the hands of bad luck anymore. So Plexa went to work, looking for the right values to use in making the GMDs consistent with their drops. What he found was mind-blowing for the entire community. But before that, we need to look at something that Prismatic discovered in MegaMan Battle Network 1 earlier that month. You remember that folder stacking trick we talked about earlier with Bag of Magic Food's tasks? Well, Prismatic found a potential way to work this into MegaMan Battle Network 1 in real time. While the footage is no longer available, basically it was understood that RNG only progressed during certain times in the game. Even more specifically, RNG didn't progress until you made it past the title screen and started playing the game. The only problem with knowing all this? RNG progresses one value per frame when you get past the title screen. This made it very difficult for potential routing and applications in real time. This concept also ties in with manipulating GMD as it uses the same general RNG. So using this knowledge, Plexa found out the concepts for the community, and MegaMan Battle Network veteran speedrunner Garage42, with the help of others, was able to do this on July 23, 2014. What you just saw was encounter manipulation, based on the RNG values that were mentioned before. As it turned out, you can reset RNG with the soft reset for the game, or the A-B start select method. If you line your character up in a specific position, save, and start the game again, you could buffer movements to get to a location with the same RNG result every time. Combined with some creative routing, this was used to get specific encounters in MegaMan Battle Network 1. So now, MegaMan Battle Network 1 had potential folder stacking, GMD manipulation, and encounter manipulation, all brought together in less than a month of the initial findings. However, there was still one more thing left to do. On July 29th, 2014, Garage42 presented the new route for MegaMan Battle Network 1 on his Twitch channel. It contained almost all of the strategies mentioned and was revolutionary at the time, making most members of the community lose their minds in disbelief. The final time for this route premiere was 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 37 seconds, an incredible time for something that was mostly consistent. From there, other MegaMan Battle Network games started to follow suit. MegaMan Battle Network 2 had RNG manip found by Doisum and was routed by the community around October 2014. MegaMan Battle Network 2 manip works a little bit differently since the RNG values start progressing on the title screen. This means that runners had to use sound or visual cues at that point to manipulate encounters, making it the hardest to manipulate out of the entire series. For MegaMan Battle Network 3, it becomes a little bit more complicated. Folder stacking concepts were researched in 2015 and finally put into runs as early as July 27, 2015. We can see in Macros PB as an example of this. Over time, manipulation setups were found out for battle chips required to progress the story. Concepts for encounter manipulation for Iceball M chip drops happened that November, and even encounter manipulation for a Windstar chip drop tutorial being presented the very next week. Wait a minute. You see that? RNG 1 and RNG 2? Just how many random number generators are there? It was found that there are two different RNG values influencing what was happening with Battle Network 3. We can separate those into RNG 1 and RNG 2. RNG 1, or lazy RNG, controls how the battle chips are drawn in battle and what type of encounters you get. And this only progresses once in game. It also can only be reset by turning the console off and on again. RNG 2, or main RNG, influences everything else. This includes when you get random encounters and even enemy AI. This can be reset with both a hard reset and a soft reset. Like the other games, the values progress with each frame, and some manipulations need audio or visual cues for it to work consistently. As time went on, the route was even improved to optimize different aspects of the game, including a manipulation for the gambling minigame that can get you up to 256,000 Zenny, which is extremely helpful in the run. Fast forward to present day, and there's still no manipulation for MegaMan Battle Network 4, 5, and 6. Unfortunately, the RNG values are handled differently and much harder to manipulate than the first three games, so they don't share the same level of optimization. All of the current top runs for MegaMan Battle Network 1 through 3 use the manipulation, and we can see the massive differences that the manip and the other route changes have made over the years in these examples. With 3 games left to go in the Battle Network series for manipulation, one question remains: what will it take for these games to be broken? In speedrunning, the possibilities are limitless, and if there are enthusiasts looking to beat these games as fast as they can, there will always be more discoveries waiting beyond the horizon. If the idea of MegaMan Battle Network speedrunning appeals to you, and you liked what you saw in the video, be sure to check out the Team Battle Network Discord. They have many resources and an active community to help you get started. And since you made it this far, be sure to like the video and leave a comment of what game you'd like to see in the next Speedrunning Explained series. Also, if you have time, check out my Patreon if you'd like to support the projects directly, and to get mentioned at the end of my uploads like this. Thanks for watching, folks, and stay hydrated. I'll see you all in the next video.